Kicking off the heat, yeah, it's time to go. Slapping me, community show. Tuesday nights, we bring it on air. Step into the ring if you're ready to care. Oh, let's talk power, let's talk speed. Hosted by the one and only We Too Deep. Turn it up loud, feel the power in your seat. This is Slapping Me, yes, Slapping Me.
What is up, everybody? It is the Slappy Awards show. And with me, we have from the Beyond the Junkyard show, the star of the show, Cody Marinero. And the guy you call host, Junkyard James. All right, so before we jump into just giving out awards, first off, we're going to address this comment here from DJ Wavy D here. He says, we're letting these dubby drinkers slow us down. He's right. Now, this is actually all on me. We've had some difficulties because I didn't realize that me not paying for the service. Anyway, that's a whole different thing. The point is, I'm poor. Please support the show. But before we jump into giving out awards, we're gonna do an icebreaker, and that is a quiz for Junkyard James and Cody. We're gonna see who's the smarter of the two. Which one is the most smart mark here, or a smark, as they would call them. So how we're going to do this, 30 questions, and then it's going to sort, I don't know if you guys watch Stash Club and how they do their little quizzes. It's going to be similar to that. It's not who gets it right first, but I'll ask the question. I'll give you like 15 seconds to think of the answer. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you don't get a point. When we get to the end, there's the 31st question where you'll do your wager. You'll wager how many ever points you want, and at the end, we'll see who the winner is. We have 3 categories: easy, medium, and hard. Right? So we'll start with the easy. 10 questions there. These should be like really super fucking easy. You should know all of this. First question. Who did Hulk Hogan body slam in the main event of WrestleMania 3? I don't think we need time to think about this. So
I was going to say, did we just Andre the Giant?
Right. So James, answer.
But hold on, I gotta say there's a flaw in your system, because if he gives the answer and then I give a different answer, his answer may influence my answer. So should we not write down the answers?
I mean, if you want to write down your answers, you can. I don't have paper to give nobody, so.
I found a notebook. I can do this.
Come on, host.
I mean, it was pretty fucking easy to just answer. If you get influence from his answer,
that's cheating.
So do you have paper?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's show your fucking answer. We have the first question.
Oh, I gotta write it down.
Oh god, this is gonna be difficult. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
The thing is, no one can fucking see it because we don't have whiteboards.
Did you see my answer?
I did.
Okay.
James, you know this. Let's shout the fucking answer out.
Andre the Giant.
I actually have a piece of notebook paper, and he has an iPhone.
All right, so here's how we're actually gonna do this. We're gonna do it the way I planned it, because James, you answer first since you think you're gonna be influenced, and then Cody answers after him. Okay, you both have 1 point. Shit, already off the fucking rails because of you two. Second question: What does AEW stand? James, you answer first, you dumb fuck.
Well, who the fuck muted me? All Elite Wrestling.
Okay, Cody.
All Elite Wrestling.
Correct. You both have 2 points. James, you're really being fucking difficult right now. Okay. Third question. James, you answer first. Remember that now, okay? Who was the very first AEW World Champion?
Hey, this would be a lot easier if you would stop muting my microphone. Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho. Jericho, sorry.
Yes. Okay. You both got 3 points. Question number 4. Which wrestler's entrance theme starts with the following phrase? If you smell.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Just The Rock.
I'll give it to James because he said The Rock. But yes, it's The Rock. It's not Dwayne. It's The Rock. Anyway, question number 5. Who were the original members of The Shield?
Original? There were only 3. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins.
Yes, Roman, Seth, and Dean. There was an honorary member, but those were the 3 original.
Yeah. See, original. Honorary, Kurt Angle. So yes, you guys now have 5 points. This one is specially for our friend Cody over there. Question 6. What was Sting's signature weapon in WCW?
That would be a baseball bat, a black one.
Yeah, baseball bat. He gave it.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, question 7. Who was the first ever TNA World Heavyweight Champion? Going to clarify real quick. I'm talking about not NWA TNA, regular TNA. Just to clarify.
Thank you. That was going to be my question, so I appreciate you clarifying that.
AJ Styles.
That would be Kurt Angle.
It is Kurt Angle. James, I'll give you redemption if you can name the first NWA TNA champion. No, that would be Ron.
Can I get a bonus point?
It's Ron the Truth Killing.
No.
No.
Are we talking TNA NWA First World Champion?
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock.
Are you telling me that the AI lied to me?
Yes.
Oh boy!
The
so
first ever NWA TNA show on June 19th, 2002 in a Battle Royal. Ken Shamrock won the Battle Royal.
Well, damn, Chat GTP lied. Anyway, question. So James, you have 6 points. Cody has 7 points. Question 8. In WWE, who was known as the Dead Man?
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Correct. Question 9. Which company did Vince McMahon buy in the year 2001?
Fuck WCW.
Cody.
WCW.
Correct. I don't know why it took you 44 seconds to think of that. And then the final easy question.
Hold on, my mic. Hold on. I'm having issues.
Oh, God. The final question, since James is having issues over here, we'll ask it, and then Cody can answer, then James can answer as well. Who won the first AEW Women's World Champion?
That would be, unfortunately, Riho.
Yeah. The greatest women's champion of all time. That would be Riho.
We end the easy round with Cody at 10, James at 9. We're going into the medium round. Question 11. Who did Goldberg defeat in his WCW debut match?
Mike Wazowski. I have no idea.
That would be Hugh Morris.
And that would be correct. I swear to God. All right, next question. Which tag team in TNA was known as Beer Money Inc.? Name the two wrestlers in that tag team.
James Storm and Bobby Roode.
Yep, James Storm and Bobby Roode.
Correct, Amundo. The next question is, who did Chris Jericho beat on the same night to become the first ever undisputed WWE champion?
The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep, Rock and Stone Cold.
Perfection. The next question, what was the name of the group led by Jeff Jarrett in early TNA?
The Job Squad. I have no fucking idea.
This one you actually have me stumped a little bit. Do we have a year or a few years? Talking like 02, 03, 04, 05?
Yeah, like brand new, like TNA right as it was starting.
This one you actually got me on. I don't know. I'm just going to take a simple guess. It's wrong because it happened in 04, but Kings of Wrestling, I really don't know.
That is not right. It's Planet Jarrett.
Planet Jarrett. Okay. All right.
Which was the tag team or was a stable of Jeff Jarrett, Abyss, America's Most Wanted, Monty Brown. Jesus shit, is the whole fucking roster. Monty Brown, Team Canada, Kip James, Gail Kim, Alex Shelley, Scott Steiner, Larry Zbyszko.
Damn, that was 05, 06 TNA. Damn. All right. I still didn't get it right because I knew that was a faction. I didn't even remember the name of that group, but good Lord.
All right. So Cody's at 13 points. James, you're at like 10. I lost count of yours. Could you? Next question. Which WCW pay-per-view infamously ended with the finger poke of doom?
Oh, fuck. This Battle of the Beach, 97.
Unless I'm missing a finger poke of doom, the only finger poke of doom happened on January 4th, 1999's Nitro. It wasn't a pay-per-view.
You're right. I wrote the question wrong. Not pay-per-view.
Okay.
I wrote the question wrong, but it is Nitro.
Fair enough.
So Cody did get it right. Next question. Who did Kenny Omega beat to win the world title for the first time?
Oh,
Hold on, we're talking AEW, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
shit. John Moxley.
Yes, John Moxley.
Correctamundo. Cody's at 15. We're going to say James is at 13 because he's got 2 wrong, I think, at this point. Question 17. Who was the final WCW World Heavyweight Champion before the company folded?
Booker T.
Booker T.
Thanks, Vince Russo. It is Booker T. Question 19. Who was the inaugural AEW TNT champion?
Cody Rhodes.
Yes, Cody Rhodes.
It is Cody Rhodes. And the question number 20. Which TNA match type features a 6-sided steel cage?
Can't think of the name. As for the X division, I don't fucking remember what it's called. Pass.
Isn't it just called 6 Sides of Steel?
Yes, it's called the 6-sided steel match. You're thinking of King of the Mountain, and it was a nice valiant effort anyway. So through the easy and medium questions, Cody's at 19 points. James, you are at 16 points. Now we're getting hard.
We're slapping me.
Isn't that apropos?
What was the original planned main event for Starrcade 1997 before creative interference changed the build?
Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett. Hogan won. I don't fucking remember. Is that the right one? No.
No, that's Bash of the Beach 2000.
The question was, what was the original finish, right?
What was the original planned main event for Starrcade 97 before interference changed the build?
Wasn't just Sting versus Hogan, and Sting just goes over like clean?
Yeah. So the original plan was Sting go over clean, but Hogan.
I was like, hold up, was there supposed to be somebody else?
Yeah,
I didn't hear this story.
Yeah, correct. Cody is correct.
Okay.
Question 22. Which early TNA wrestler used the nickname the Alpha Male?
Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I could totally see Joe Hendry with that nickname. That would be Monty Brown.
Correct. So Cody's at 21. James is at, 17? Question 23. At which event did Bret Hart make his WCW debut?
Pass. I don't know.
All right, so the question was, what pay-per-view did he make his debut?
What event?
Like in general as an appearance or wrestling?
Just his debut.
Starcade 97.
Correct. Starcade 1997. Question 24. Who was the first ever person pinned in the first ever Elimination Chamber match?
Randy Orton.
All right, hold on, give me a second here. So who was the first person to get pinned?
Correct.
Oh man, I am stuck between two people. I'm gonna kick myself if it's wrong because I generally am stuck between two. I'm just gonna go on a limb and say Booker T.
Both of you got it wrong.
Damn it!
There
it
is
was
a
Rob
right
Van
answer
Dam.
in the chat. It is
Damn it.
RVD. Congratulations to viewer Wavy D out there.
Should have went with RVD. Damn it! I thought he lasted longer in the match, but
question 25. What tag team did AJ Styles originally team with in WCW just before the company ended?
Yeah, dog. I was like 3 years old when this happened. So, New World Order.
I mean, Cody was young too, but does Cody know this?
I sure do. The tag team was called Air Raid, and it was Kid Romeo.
Yeah, correct. All right. Question 26. Which AEW match drew the company's first ever Dave Meltzer 5-star rating?
Wait, say that again?
Which AEW match drew the company's first ever Dave Meltzer 5-star rating?
Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks at Double or Nothing 2019.
Cody, what's your answer?
Man, again, I have two guesses here, but I'm just gonna go with the first one that came to my mind. Was it Cody versus Dustin at the Double or Nothing 2019?
Nope. AEW.
Let me have a second guess. I'm wrong, but was it Pac versus Omega at All Out 2019?
No. So James got half of it right. Cody just got the other half right. So it's All Out 2019, Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros in the ladder match.
Damn.
So no points were given for this question. I
could have sworn the first show I got a 5-star.
That's what I thought. That's why I went with Cody versus Dustin, but interesting.
Nope. All right. Next question. So Cody's at 24 points. James is at, I'm 100% not sure how many points you have. We're just going to go with 20. We're just going to go with 20. Next question. Who was the longest reigning TNA X Division champion of all time? This record still stands today. Who has it?
You said TNA, longest reigning TNA champion?
Longest reigning X Division.
Oh, X Division. What's it? Eddie Edwards?
That is incorrect. Cody?
I'm I really don't think I know this, but I'm just going to throw it out there and go with Samoa Joe.
That also is wrong. With the longest reign I had this pulled up at 298 days is Austin Aries.
Austin Aries. Okay.
All right. 28. Cody's going to love this question. Which celebrity won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship at Slamboree 2000?
That would be David Arquette.
Yep, Mr. Arquette.
That is correct.
How is that a hard question?
All right, next question, 29. What move did MJF use to defeat Cody at AEW Revolution 2020?
The Crossroads.
That is incorrect.
Isn't it like a head takeover?
No. The correct answer is the Dynamite Diamond Ring Punch.
Should have went with that.
And the final normal question here before we get to wagering points. Who was the first WCW wrestler to appear on WWF programming after the buyout?
For some reason, I thought it was a group of cruiserweights. Maybe I'm thinking of it in the absolute reverse. But I'm just going to go with Perry Saturn.
That is incorrect. Cody?
Booker T.
That is correct. It is Booker T. All right, so Cody is at, I think, 27. James, we're going to put you at 21. We're just going to be safe there. You guys can wager how many ever points you want. So let's say James wants to wager 10 points. If he wagers 10, gets this next question right, he gets an additional 10 points. If he wagers 10 and gets it wrong, he loses 10 points. I'm sure we understand how math works. So, James, how many points do you want to wager?
Since you actually don't know how many points, I wager all of them. That way, if I get it wrong, I'm automatically 0.
All right, so James is wagering 21 points. Cody, how many you want to wager?
I'll do 26 out of 27.
Okay, so Cody's playing it safe. He's going to go for the win no matter what. This legendary difficulty question for the winner takes all. Which wrestler holds the distinction of being the only person to wrestle on WWF Raw, WCW Nitro, ECW Hardcore TV, and TNA Impact while all 4 companies were active, and to do so under the same ring name? James.
You're going to have to give me a second, Bob. The only person that I know of that has wrestled long enough to I think that could do that is the natural Dustin Rhodes?
Cody.
I'm pretty sure this is right. I know he obviously wrestled for TNA, WCW, WWF, but I'm pretty sure he did at least, if anything, a house show.
Before you give your question, Wavy D or answer, Wavy D wants me to read the question again because he's playing along with us. Give me 1 second. Someone's logging into my YouTube account. Let me confirm that it's me. No. Fucking A. Which wrestler holds the distinction of being the only person to wrestle on Raw, Nitro, ECW TV, and TNA Impact, while all 4 companies were active and did so under the same ring name?
Oh man, I one person comes to mind that I honestly remember seeing a picture of him in all 4 companies under the same name. I have a couple of things in my head, but I'm just going to go with this answer and say Scott Hall.
That is incorrect. I'll give each of you one more guess.
All right, so another name. So ECW, TNA, WWF, and TNA. I'm going to go with Taz.
That is incorrect.
Brian Knobbs.
That also is incorrect. The answer is Raven.
Raven. Damn. Wow.
So with 1 point, our winner is Cody Marinara. Let's get to why we all came here now, which is to award some wrestling awards. Hold up my thing here. So here, how we'll do this, we'll start. I'll list the category. James will go first, Cody, then me. That's going to be the order. James, Cody, me. All right. So we'll start with some of the not as important awards. We'll start with the little fun one here. The category, the worst business decision, so not booking, but worst business decision of the year 2025. James, you're on the clock.
All right. So maybe not necessarily business in terms of what they got, but business in terms of the perception to the fans. WWE hijacking their ticket prices so that normal people cannot afford to go to a live event is the worst business decision of the year.
All right, and Cody?
For me, the worst business decision of the year was WWE switching from Peacock to ESPN Plus with their PLEs. I just going from a $10 per month hike to $29 per month from Peacock to ESPN Plus is another way to kind of price gouge your clientele. I don't feel a lot of people are watching it on ESPN Plus. I guess if you're paying the $30 and you're getting it, that's one thing. But telling people to go from Peacock to ESPN Plus, I don't think as many people are doing that. And it's a way to really kind of kill your audience on watching the PLEs.
100%. I actually agree, but I also agree with Wavy D because Wavy D also agrees. Worst business decision was the PLEs moving to ESPN. Double points for making the move earlier than announced. 100% agree that was shitty business. Without a doubt, should be. Hopefully Melcher will agree with us and put it as the worst business move of the year. Next is, so we just did business decision, so now we're going to move on the worst booking decision in all of wrestling in the year 2025.
Two. I have two. Because I couldn't pick just one for the whole year because I think both are equally as atrocious. The first one was an AEW idea of unifying both the international and continental titles and never having any of them be defended ever. And we see now in the Continental Classic that it's only the Continental title that's being defended. But then secondly, the entirety of John Cena's heel turn was a terrible booking decision.
I tried to make this as a collaborative thing instead of putting 2 or 3 different things on there, but basically the entire Rock, Travis Scott, John Cena debacle at Elimination Chamber and leading into WrestleMania, that whole booking decision was just horrible from the beginning. It was shotgun booking. It didn't make any sense. There's been no payoff. There was no rhyme or reason for it. Obviously, Travis Scott fucked over WWE, and we never got any explanation truly from The Rock for why he even implemented himself in the storyline Elimination Chamber. But yeah, and Cena heel turn was what it was, but really it's that whole beginning stages of it at Elimination Chamber leading into WrestleMania that was just, it was awful.
Yeah, so I'm going to second that. I too, like James, I have 2 equally just as bad decisions here. The heel turn, 100%. That's a good comment. Wavy D's been shitting on this one for since it happened. But no, my second one is WrestleMania having Jey Uso beat Gunther. Jey Uso was obviously not ready for that spot, which is why he's not there anymore. And back in the tag division. I don't know if you guys know this. If you haven't been following Raw, Jey Uso is now in the tag division again with his brother. So, you know, booking. Anyway, yeah, that whole moment just for the quick pop that lasted 24 hours. But that's my worst booking decision. By the way, I've been telling y'all since January that would have been stupid. Moving on. We'll move on to the feud of the year.
This one was actually kind of difficult for me to pick a feud in general because there were actually several really good feuds in pro wrestling this year, but I settled on the feud between Adam Hangman Page and Jon Moxley. I thought that feud really led us throughout the spring and early summer really well, culminating in Hangman winning the belt at the show at Globe Life Field in Arlington, All In, and they didn't really do anything off of that moment, to be honest. But I thought that feud leading to that moment was a great moment in time this year.
For me, the feud of the year was Triple H versus Good Booking. It's been a year-long battle. No, just kidding.
No,
James stole my thunder. Slightly. James stole my thunder, so I had to put that one in there. The best booked, best. Well, we'll get to that later. Yeah, Adam Page versus John Moxley is for me as well. Death Riders finally gained some momentum in January and February, and was leading to really good Dynamite and collisions and pay-per-views, and had a stranglehold on the company, and they beat all the top baby faces. AEW needed that hero, and they inserted Hangman, going from a heel in the latter part of 2024, leading into 2025, and he finally turned face, dethroned Moxley, won the world title all in, like James said, and became the biggest babyface in the company, and set a really good moment and a really good storyline for the first half of 2025, and it culminated with him getting help from his longtime nemesis Swerve at All In, and that created a really good moment to help better the company, so to speak. So overall, it had a really good build to it, and then it culminated with a really cool moment that tied a lot of things together at All In. So,
Yeah. Before I give my answer, good question. I don't remember. I don't think Punk or Drew have. I don't think any of CM Punk's feuds have ended since he's joined the company again. They just keep continuing over and over and over and over. For some reason, he's still mad at Seth Rollins after 4 years or however long he's been back. But y'all gonna have to hear me out for my answer though, because it was a rough year in WWE. My answer is Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. For a couple main reasons, being it elevated a title that desperately needed elevating. And if the problem is the booking, just like, I'm just going to go on a rant real quick, not a long one, but Triple H really did suck this year. It just absolutely fucking sucked. The entire year, like the most inconsistent booking, like real peak and then like valley for like 8 months, which is why I don't watch Raw or SmackDown anymore. Other than the fact that Raw and SmackDown cost me like $1 million to watch. So, yeah, but Becky versus Lyra was the one that I thought of. Second mention, Sami Zayn versus Kara in my Discord. That's a great feud. But moving forward, I mean, even with NXT, I can't think of like Shawn Michaels has been kind of off his game this year as well. So that's why we're going there. Next,
I don't. Sorry, just a quick.
Go ahead.
I don't blame Sean so much for that, just because of the fact that he was kind of thrown and dealt with the whole TNA thing. So it's hard for him to put so much focus on NXT when he has to cater to TNA and try to figure out what works for them, how to get their stars over here and this and that, and vice versa with NXT to TNA. So I don't blame Sean for that. I think Sean's done pretty decent for what he's been dealt with, and trying to build up the NXT guys and gals while also trying to cater
it
to
also
them too.
doesn't help that all the established NXT stars are sitting on the bench right now up on Raw or in catering. I mean, other than Stephanie Vicaire, I'm going to ruin SmackDown for you guys. Julia loses in 2 seconds to, I think it's Zelina Vega. So literally 2 seconds. Yes, James?
A pinfall's 3 seconds.
Okay, smartass. But the point of it is Zelina Vega, who almost killed Rhea Ripley last week, just beat in a squash match Julia. So she could still be down and doing something in NXT. Carmelo Hayes, what the fuck is he doing? Stephanie Vicaire is probably the most successful, but even still, her title means jack shit. So, anyways, we'll move on to the best gimmick of the year, and I swear to God, James, just say what I think you're going to say. I'm gonna beat your ass.
James, I just hope you don't steal my answer.
All right. So, give shout out to Wavy D in the chat because there was a feud that I actually forgot about. Tony Storm versus Mariah May. That was a very good feud that I think started at the tail end of 2024 and culminated in right before she left in June to go to NXT, where, hey, by the way, she lost the women's title tonight to Thea Hale. But anyways,
And a very fucked up finish.
Yep. Anyways, back to the point at hand. Gimmick of the year, there was a few. I thought there were a couple good few. For the
Damn it, don't use a couple or few because you're gonna steal mine.
For the casual fans that watch this show, you'll love this one. Mr. Iguana. For those that love the graps and love a good shit talking heel, the best heel of the year, Ricochet. And then additionally, after what he said last night on Monday Night Raw, you have to throw Gunther up in there because he is now probably going to be the biggest heel of our generation. But yeah, Mr. Iguana and Ricochet, and then Gunther.
I said best gimmick, not best heel, you stupid. Anyway, Cody, your answer?
It's still mine, Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So we're going to go 3 for 3 here because Mr. Iguana.
I'll be 100% honest with you. And listen, I don't watch NXT, Raw, or SmackDown religiously every week. I don't watch Collision every week, most weeks, and I watch Dynamite every week. This is the only gimmick that I can think of. There is no other gimmick. Everybody's a wrestler with a character. I guess you could probably call that their gimmick. But like Mr. Iguana is a gimmick. That's like the only gimmick. Orange Cassidy maybe, and maybe Hook, but like that's to me the only gimmick I can think of was Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. Thanks for stealing the thunder there, James. Oh yeah, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Another one, El Grande Americano.
All right, technically that's a gimmick, so yeah, I'll give you that one.
I like that one.
All right, we'll move on. To the one that might be surprising with my answer here, the Booker of the Year. We know where James and Cody are going. We don't even have to go there. Just spit out the name real quick. But
okay, yeah. So Booker of the Year goes to the one and only Champaign, Illinois famous English Premier League owning, third seed owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 13 belt Tony Khan.
And Cody, your answer?
Wow, you didn't need all that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think the best Booker of the Year is myself. Because I booked a Midsummer Classic next year by procreating and creating a baby and becoming a father to a newborn in June of next year. I think is a damn good booking decision on my part. So I'm gonna say Booker of the Year to myself. Thank you. My wife's not in here, so I can say that. Thank you. I was not expecting any of those, so thank you for that. Yeah, Tony Khan. But I'll be 100% honest with you. I actually had to think about this for a little bit because in a seriously really close second place was the Lyric GK of TNA. I think TNA had a pretty decent year this year. Yes, the partnership with NXT helped a lot with that, but I think they actually grew a bit this year, and obviously got a new TV deal. I think the creative there has been pretty decent. So this was not as easy as I thought. Delirious was a really good booker this year. I just think Tony Khan just had a
Hmm.
more year.
Right.
Pay-per-views and delivery on the pay-per-views and all that stuff.
Right. So this is where the surprise comes, because the actual answer for this is one Vince Root. No, I'm kidding. JCW baby. No, I'm kidding. Or JPW, whatever the fuck it's called. He promotes that on when he's watching Raw. Now, this show sucks, but if you don't want it to suck, go watch blah blah blah.
Go
blah,
watch JCW Lunacy. I'll be on there.
Go
With
go
Big
watch the
Vito as my
Juggalo.
manager.
You know how bad the show is? He brought in Vito.
Yeah, Big Vito's his manager.
Anyway, but so this year, just self-admittedly, this is probably the worst year, in my opinion, across the board in wrestling that we've had in a while. And so I'm only awarding this to this person because it's not Triple H. That, you know, I'm not gonna say he sucks at booking. I think there's a lot of other. Oh, there we go. I'm alive. I think there's a lot of other forces at play behind the scenes that Triple H has to deal with, like a John Cena retirement tour and The Rock wanting to get involved and not ever being available to get involved, and Endeavor, which, by the way, Endeavor doesn't own TKO anymore. They sold it to someone else or something. I don't know, apparently. But all of them played a role, I think. But even then, the main roster booking has been ass. And the NXT booking, you get hits that are good. It's good again now, but like over the summer when they were really pressing into this TNA stuff, it was kind of eh. And so, because at least, I don't think the booking was necessarily all that good or relevant to me, but at least it was consistent all year. We'll give it to Tony Khan. Anyway, we'll move on. The PLE or pay-per-view of the year.
Oh, this was fun. I probably will pick one that none of y'all have watched at all. My pay-per-view of the year happened in the great company of Ring of Honor, and it is Super Card of Honor 2025, live from Arlington, Texas, the day before All In. And some of the great matches included Lee Moriarty defeating Blue Panther in the pure wrestling match, the Sons of Texas winning that tag team match, Nick Wayne finally getting his singles gold, and then Athena and Thunder Rosa had a great match. But the main event, I don't want to spoil it, was a great match as well, and it was a great pay-per-view. So give me Super Card of Honor.
Cody?
This one was a little bit tougher for me. I had a couple different options, but I ultimately went with the show that happened the day after James's show, All In Texas 2025. To me, this pay-per-view had almost everything you would want in a wrestling show. You had your emotional highs with, obviously, Dustin Rhodes winning the TNT title, Adam Page overcoming and winning the world title, Swerve and Ospreay defeating the Bucks, stripping them of their EVP status, Athena winning the Casino Women's Battle Royal in her home. Then you had the emotional lows, coming out, the title, basically go away for a while. Who knows if we'll ever wrestle again? And winning the Casino Battle Royal, that. So the show really had it all.
Yeah. Can understand all of those reasonings there. And it's like me and Wavy D are the same mind here. Because the two shows he just listed are the two shows I was considering. That is Evolution 2 and SummerSlam, and I ultimately chose Evolution 2 to be the best PLE of the year, or at least the most memorable to me. So with that, now we're getting into the nitty gritty. We'll go to the women's match of the year.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not get the women's match of the year on this list of topics that you sent to me, so I don't have match of the years on here unless I'm missing it. But if I had to pick one off the top of my head, it would be Mercedes Moné versus Persephone at the 91st anniversary CMLL show.
Now, Cody, before you answer, did or did I not send the same questions to you and James?
Yeah, because I have mine written down here.
Yeah, see, look at that. Anyway, Cody, your answer?
The women's blood and guts match was really, really close of overcoming this other one. Not just because I was there live watching it. I watched the show back and I thought it was such a really good match. However, after rewatching this match, it's pretty clear that this won women's match of the year. It's the triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 Night 2 between Io Sky, Bianca, and Rhea for the women's world title. Just a barn burner of a match.
This is how you know Cody knows ball, because Wavy D just put that in there, and that's my answer as well. It's been the women's match of the year since April. No one was ever going to touch it, in my opinion. So yeah, Rhea, Io, and Bianca from WrestleMania. Probably the best, in my opinion, opening matches to a WrestleMania. I guess you can say night now. Fucking 2 night fucking PLEs, but and so yeah, I'll go that. I'll go there. And then we'll move to the men's match of the year. And James not prepared to see if he can pull one out of his fucking asshole.
I had this one. Like I said, I didn't want to spoil the main event of Supercard of Honor because it's my match of the year: Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita. Supercard of Honor.
Never once, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year if I thought Bandito would be someone's match of the year, would I have actually believed him? And
he had like 4 match of the year candidates.
Yeah, he had a couple. He had a couple, but he had some really good matches for sure. However, mine is not a Bandito match. Mine was the finals of the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament at Double or Nothing between Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. Just top to bottom, very good match. Crowd was into it, 50-50 split, and both guys had a lot on the line. Wanted to be the guy to take on Moxley at All in Texas and win the AEW World Title. And both guys put on just an absolutely incredible match. And when it was pretty much the best, I think the best of the Owen Hart Cup final matches, men or women, they put on just an absolutely fantastic match.
absolutely. So I was really stuck between 2 matches. And one of them came from Stand and Deliver, which was the match between Obafemi, Javon Evans, Trick Williams. But ultimately, that wasn't the triple threat that I chose. Same weekend. And that, to me, match of the year is Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk from WrestleMania night 1. I just think you have the drama, just the star power, and all of that. Now the booking after it has been absolutely shit. By the way, Austin Theory's now part of the Vision. In case you didn't know, he's the masked man who climbed the cage. Or at least one of them, because there's probably multiple from all theories from the fans. Theory. But anyway, that is the match of the year, which leads us to the tag team of the year.
All right. So my tag team of the year might be the largest tag team.
Don't do it. Don't what?
Of the year. Oh my god. And it just keeps growing. It seems like every month. It's more like a stable than a tag team, but it's a tag team. I think this will fit within the parameters. The greatest tag team of 2025 because of the global significance and the mastery of this tag team, the Don Callis family.
All right, so you're talking about the team that has fucking Trent Beretta, Oshi Bagoshi Koshi Doshi, or whatever the fuck. The dude from well, just start naming names in wrestling, and he's probably part of this fucking team. Cody, first react to that, and then give us your answer.
You know, there's some times where I'm just, I don't know if you've lost brain cells or what. It's a fact shit. It's not a tag team. And every time there's a tag team, they always break up.
It fits.
No,
it fits within the parameters. Yeah, it does.
Who the hell has been a tag team for longer than 2 months? Thank you. Exactly. So, anyways,
Proto-Shida, Proto-Kata. Josh Alexander and
nobody. Okay.
Look. Y'all could settle this debate on your debut episode on New Year's Day. I'll give you your little quick plug. New Year's Day,
James,
the Beyond the Junkyard.
We're gonna forget this question even existed because
the Beyond the Junkyard show is back after a 30-something, 60-something day at that point day hiatus.
James is gonna need all the rest of those days to recoup from that.
Refreshed.
Wowie. No, it's not them. But I will say that his answer makes a lot of sense for the fact that, to me, in my opinion, 2025 was not a good year for tag teams.
100%.
I feel tag team wrestling just sucked this year. To me, there's only two options: either the Hurt Syndicate or FTR, and I went with FTR. They started the year as faces with Copeland, betrayed them, big heels in a company, one of the top heels in a company. They have rivalries against Copeland, Christian, Brodito, Daniel Garcia, and Nigel McGuinness. Became a 3-time record AEW World Tag Team Champs, Full Gear. Just top guys through and through. Really had, honestly, the only tag team that had some sort of steadiness this year. Hurt Syndicate was pretty close to that, but they kind of teetered and tottered a little bit. So that's the only reason really why I went with FTR.
Yeah, I'm gonna second your notion here. 2025 was a pretty down year for not just wrestling, but specifically tag wrestling. And more specifically in WWE. You know, the company that doesn't already care about tag wrestling, they at least pretended to care in previous years. This year they just didn't give two fucks whatsoever. And so at first I was going to say the Hardys in TNA because they've won like 44 titles on the indies. But we're we're going to stick with my first answer, which again, Wavy D had put in here. I agree with the entire statement. At the beginning of the year was Fraxium, but my fear happened. They got caught up, and Triple H didn't know how to use them. Now they're sitting in catering. But yes, Dark State is the answer. To also throw up another question of his, or chat of his, Wavy D did say at the beginning of the year that Dion Lennox would be a superstar. So he did say that. I will give him credit for that. I'll also say I saw Dark State's debut. I was there live. They scared the shit out of me when the lights started flashing, and I was like, what the hell is going on? But that was back at Vengeance Day, where I almost died in DC, because driving in the rain at nighttime in DC, it's not fun. Cody can attest to that. You have exits going off on the left, exits going off on the right, about 84 bridges, no parking. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dark State. So now we'll go to the final 2 awards. Ladies are always first. I really, really am hesitant to throw this over to James because we know where he's going. It's gonna be a bloviation. I'm gonna just go ahead and give him the Dick Ryder pass right now. We know where this is headed. All my fans of this show just put up with it because we know exactly where it's going.
All right, so we're going best woman of the year. And let me tell you who it is. Ready? She is the APAC Women's Champion, the Winnipeg Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, the AEW Owen Hart Cup Women's Champion, the Body Slam Women's Champion, the Discovery Wrestling Scottish Women's Champion, the Bestia Women's Champion, the PTW Women's Champion, the Chaotic Wrestling Women's Champion, the EWA Women's Champion, the Rev Pro Undisputed Women and Queen of Southside Champion, the CMLL World Women's Champion, and the longest reigning AEW TBS champion of all time, not Jade Cargill anymore, Mercedes Moné.
Cody.
I don't have anything else to add to that. So I just want to show you. She was my second choice, but ultimately won it out. I had somebody else written in the red right there that scribbled out. I initially put Stephanie Vaquer. I was really close to putting her as the best wrestler of the year for the women's side. I just think, obviously, Mercedes just had a better year overall. I think Mercedes did a little bit more to enhance women's wrestling as a whole, for obviously going around the world defending these titles. Listed all of them off. Just enhancing women's independent wrestling, giving that a little bit more notoriety, showcasing the talent on those shows. People are going to be like, well, what the hell is that organization? And at least looking to it. So it'll give them a little more click, a little more views. But yeah, I ultimately went with Mercedes.
All right. I will not be following them with the same answer. My answer is Stephanie Vaquer. I think it's, the only other obvious pick to excuse me, to put up here. So no other reason other than it's not Mercedes. It's just not. I'm sorry. Let me give you guys opinion on this comment from Wavy D. Most improved women's wrestler of the year was Nia Jax.
Strongly disagree with that. Harley Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Harley Cameron. You look at her matches from late 2024, early 2025 to now. She has grown tremendously in the ring. She really, really has. Nia Jax, I'm sure, has done a decent job too. I won't say that Nia Jax has not improved, but Nia has been wrestling for years. whereas Harley's really only been wrestling for a couple of years because she was just a person to look on TV at.
Mm-hmm.
She finally took the craft seriously, trained, and to me has gotten tremendously better in such a short amount of time.
To that vein, I also want to add Maxine Dupree. Same sort of situation.
I agree with that. Yeah.
This little gimmick she has going on with Natty, where Natty's basically beating the shit out of her in training. I don't know. I guess it's just the Heart Foundation.
That's the Heart.
But that's I'll throw her in as well as most improved. But we'll end the awards with the male wrestler of the year.
This one was a little tough for me because I had a couple people in mind that one, I don't think y'all were considering any of these, but overall, the overarching idea of 2025 was there was, I think, two favorites, and it was really, really difficult for me to come down to the two. It was either Konosuke Takeshita, because of what he did in New Japan Pro Wrestling, winning the the G1 Climax tournament. Now he's IWGP champion, but overall, I think because of the just number of great matches that this other guy had this year, he is my male wrestler of the year, and it is none other than the masked outlaw himself, Bandito.
Cody.
I was not seeing that. I actually went with Konosuke Takeshita as my wrestler of the year. Like you said, James, he's the current IWGP World Champion. Won the G1 Climax, beat Zack Sabre Jr. in the G1 Climax, not in the finals, but basically took over the lead in that block and then beat Evil to win the G1. Right now, he's currently tied in the Blue League of the Continental Classic for first. And he beat Tanahashi in his last United States match. And then at Wrestle Kingdom 19, early January of this year, he won the Never Openweight title. So Konosuke has put on banger matches in AEW, but has become a big named star in Japan. He's currently contracted to New Japan, AEW, and DDT Pro Wrestling. Guy is becoming a mega star in Japan. He's becoming a really big star in the States. And his rank is only going to get higher. But I think overall, from a work perspective, from a match perspective, and his workload, I think Konosuke Takeshita is the overall wrestler of the year.
All right. So I'm going to go with a different superstar. And this superstar, I believe, is the current best wrestler on the planet from a performer standpoint, whether it's in the ring, on the microphone, as a character, just has the it factor. One half of your AAA mixed tag team champions, your current North American champion, All Ego, Ethan Page, with a second to Dominic Mysterio. But yeah, Ethan Page is my male wrestler of the year. So before we end the show, we got two things we always do with 3 male, 3 female to look forward to. We'll end with that, but 2 other things. We talked about John Cena's retirement tour. So just overall, and a quick summary of your thoughts of this retirement tour. Now that John Cena has officially retired, he's gone. He's no longer an active wrestler. What are your thoughts on the last year of his career?
I wrote one word to define this: horrendous. Starting from the heel turn to the sudden face turn that made no sense, all the way through him choosing Gunther to be his last match. Nothing made sense. There was not even 1 ounce of a semblance of consistency in the story. The only part that was good about this was the way it ended, but from point A to where it ended made absolutely no sense. So horrendous.
I got a couple more words than that. I wore the man tonight to pay my tribute to him. It could have been better. It definitely could have. Stings was better. Just saying. But it was okay. It was good for the second half of it. I will say, you put on a bunch of good matches with the Orton, Cody at SummerSlam. Did not love the WrestleMania match. Logan Paul, AJ, of course. Both matches with Dom were really good. And I even thought the Gunther match on Saturday Night's Main Event was actually good. It was kind of your Cena match, but I thought the Gunther match was actually good. Obviously, the heel run was a waste. It was not needed. The IC title reign was a waste. We didn't need the 2-week reign of Cena just to call him a Grand Slam champion. They've had plenty of time beforehand to do that. Give him a shot at the IC title and win it. But Cena went out how I thought he would want to, and that's good with me. I thought he would lose his final match, put over a current person to lead WWE into the future. That's what he did. I kind of wish he did at least 100 dates, give a little more opportunity for him to travel around some of the other big cities in the world to at least appear and be able to say goodbye to a little bit more people. But it is what it is. We got what we got. But he'll definitely be missed inside the square circle from a competitor standpoint. I'm sure he'll appear on TV sporadically here and there. But it was a lot. Could have been better, but he kind of went out with how he did and how he wanted to, and that's good enough with me, I guess. I will say this. I'm sorry. Let me say one more thing. I was severely upset on Saturday with how the match ended. 48 hours later, 72 now. I get it. It makes a little bit more sense to me now how it went out. But I try to, in many of these different things, I try to put myself on both sides of the aisle. And at the end of the day, Cena made us feel, as wrestling fans, a certain way. That's what we're supposed to do when watching wrestling. We're supposed to be entertained. We're supposed to believe in it, dive into it, have a feeling. When you have a feeling one way or the other, that's how they got you. And they got us. I wanted Cena to win. He lost. I was disappointed. The babyface, didn't win. And the heel won. We're supposed to be mad at the heel. They did their job. I may not like it. Don't really love the decision, but that's Pro Wrestling 101. The heels are supposed to be bad guys. You're not supposed to cheer for them. The baby faces are supposed to be cheered. And we got what we got. So at the end of the day, it makes more sense than it doesn't. But yeah.
So I will not fall out of this chair. I almost fucking broke. Anyway,
Feud of the year: Randall versus the chair.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna keep my opinion short because I planned on speaking specifically to John Cena's heel run in depth in the final episode of the Slapping Meat Community Show, which will be special edition. Already announced it in our Discord. It'll be on Friday. But just to keep a general opinion, I did not like how it began. I thought, I'll go in more detail, but I thought the title run should have been reversed. I thought he should have chased the entire year for the IC title. At the beginning of the year, get that out of the way, and then end with the 17 title. And the whole story should have been, in my opinion, I'm running out of time to get this. Even, let's just be honest, who gives a fuck if he's a Grand Slam champion? He's the greatest wrestler of all time. He didn't have to go after the IC title. And so I thought really the whole story should have been, I'm running out of time to get this. So I thought Gunther Cena, this is why I predicted early in January that Jey Uso should have fought Cody and Cena should have fought Gunther. Have this same exact booking finish at WrestleMania where Gunther taps him out. He gave up. Or even Cena passes out or whatever. And then Gunther retains. He goes through now, Tony Stark is dead. And Gunther goes through, retires Goldberg, right? We get to the very end. John Cena gets one more opportunity to get 17, and it's against Gunther, who already tapped him out this year. And he wins. Cena now, his final night, he's 17, and he turns around and he leaves the title in the ring. We start a tournament or whatever for January 6th or whatever, January 5th. We could start a tournament. We like to have a big beginning of the year tournament. Then you could, crown a champion then. But I feel like Cena, I feel like that would have been booked better overall as a story. But for what we got, it really went off the hinges with the whole pivot at Elimination Chamber. It got even more off the hinges where I started to get behind it, and then The Rock never showed up in Mania, and it was just Travis Scott. And then I was just completely don't care about it. And then they pivot back to Cena as sort of a babyface again, and no real reason behind it. And so I think once Cena became a babyface again, the Logan Paul match was fine. The second Cody match was great. The AJ Styles match was great. The match with Dominic was great. And then the match with Gunther was great. He ended with, 5 really good matches. They were just so spaced out. The whole thing just felt like it was the main thing they were booking on. But because of how spaced out it was, it felt like nothing mattered at all on TV this year. And then what they tried to supplement us with this whole Seth Rollins bullshit, but the division just wasn't hitting at all. So the entire division was sort of locked down by boring TV. Anyway, my whole point in saying, I thought it ended fine. I just feel like I felt like the story was easy coming into this, him chasing 17. They shouldn't have given it to him at the beginning. You gave us the one thing we were waiting on at the very beginning of the story. So I feel like there was a chance, even if it was, he wins it at a pay-per-view, he wins the title, and then he says, hey, my last match, open challenge, because I'm John Cena, and that's what I do. And you put over someone like a Carmelo Hayes or some random superstar who beat you for the title. I don't know. I just feel like it could have ended better. But speaking of retirement tours, one more thing before we get to the stars to look out for. AJ Styles is 1 year away. This is 3 years in a row now. Cody's got to deal with a retirement. I mean, he's not the biggest Cena fan in the world, but 3 years now that we've had a major wrestling retirement. 4 if you count Ric Flair several years ago, but the question is AJ Styles retiring in 2026. He's got 1 full year at this time next year, what matches do you hope to see over the next year in time? We'll start with James.
Gunther. Just tap him out. Make that Gunther's gimmick. Just tap everybody out. By the way, AJ Styles is probably not going to be the only star retiring in WWE. SummerSlam is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so get ready for Brock Lesnar to retire as well. But for AJ Styles, realistically, I'd like for him to have another feud with Frankie Kazarian, though I don't know what the TNA deal looks like, so that might not happen. Shinsuke Nakamura would be fun. A TNA championship run would be fun. But again, I don't know what the TNA partnership looks like. But those were the three main things that I would look for in an AJ Styles. Other than if they would allow the AJ Styles to work Forbidden Door next year and have him fight Will Ospreay, that would be fun, but probably not going to happen.
Cody, you're the AJ Styles fanatic over here. What do you want to see?
Finn Balor, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, Roman Reigns, Leon Slater, Aleister Black, Dragon Lee, Cody Rhodes to complete the trilogy. Give me that TNA run by first having his feud. Give me just a match with his longtime former colleague in TNA, Chris Sabin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, another OG TNA guy that he can feud with, Jeff Hardy, Penta, Rey Fenix, and Kevin Owens.
Okay. So I think you're going to get your wish with Leon Slater very early in the year. With him pinning Leon Slater, I think that's going to be the major feud going into the AMC deal. So I don't know if you realize this. The AMC deal starts on the 15th. They have a pay-per-view on the 17th. Resurgence, I think it's what it's called. So I think he's going to show up on the 15th on the debut show on AMC, challenge Leon Slater, say, I beat you. And that's going to carry, I think he gets that TNA run in the X division. Probably not going to happen, but Christopher Daniels, that would have been fun. But he's like dead, isn't he? Didn't like Adam Page kill him or whatever?
Yeah, he's retired. Him versus Joe would have been cool too.
Jeff Hardy. I would have said Bully Ray, but he just retired. Yeah, but you listen to some of Javon Evans, Balor, it's cool. The rumors of Jericho coming back, I think we should end AJ Styles, or at least mention the beginning of his WWE career, which, by the way, it doesn't feel like 10 years.
It's crazy how it's been 10 years that quickly. I still can't believe that.
I still remember when his debut was spoiled to us at the Royal Rumble because your friend called and was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, wait, we're behind.
Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's a lot of matches that the cool thing about this, and maybe not cool, but I don't think this will be the front of the booking like Cena's was. So they could still, AJ Styles can go around the world. I'd like to see him do a Japan tour again. Maybe get the Good Brothers involved. Who knows? Wavy D just mentioned AJ Styles versus Ilya Dragunov. That'd be crazy. But it does look like Gunther AJ Styles is happening soon because they met in the hallways on Raw. But who knows? So with that, let's tune this in. Ladies first, 3 women you are looking forward towards their 2026. It doesn't have to be like newbies. It could just be, just women you are hoping break out in 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. 2026 will be the year of Persephone. She is going to rock the women's division in CMLL, ROH, and AEW next year. But additionally, I think I put her on this every year, and I think eventually her time will come. Give me Billy Starks, and then the one returning star that I think we could see that we haven't seen in quite a while in AEW is Hikaru Shida. Supposedly her visa issues are taken care of. I think we'll see her at some point in time, and she could make a really big run in AEW.
All right, Cody.
Sorry, I had to look out the window. Somebody pulled up and shut a door, and I was about to have to go and kill somebody.
Allegedly, for legal purposes.
Un momento, por favor.
Well, while he is trying to figure out what's happening, I will go ahead and give my answers for women. I think first, Lainey Reed, for those who don't know, on NXT, Lainey Reed is the new member of Fatal Influence now that Jasmine Nix thought she deserved more money than they wanted to give her. But she is fantastic. I saw her live just last Friday. Yeah, she's it. She has that it factor. She plays the heel role perfectly. I think she'll break out. Also from NXT, Kendall Gray. I mean, they're already pushing her, but it's definitely going to be the year of Kendall Gray next year in NXT. And then we saw on Saturday Sol Ruka. She's going to the main roster, and I hope it's on SmackDown so I can watch it because I'm not paying for Netflix. But this makes the most sense because all the other main big super. The problem with the women's division in WWE is there's just no place to go anywhere. So when you got like 85 people in the women's title divisions, and anyway, Sol Ruka is going to break out and be a big star in the main roster. Now back to Cody.
Honorable mention, Julia. I think she'll eventually follow Valkyrie's steps and win a women's title. Not a women's title, like women's world title or whatever in 2026. But the three main stars to look out for me, Tekla is one. She should have a major impact in 2026, be elevated a little bit more in either the world title or the TBS title scene, lead the Sisters of Sin, or just break out of that and just back to being singles. She's got the gimmick. She's good in the ring, but she kind of got stuck in the abyss there a little bit towards the latter half of this year. But expect her to have a good 2026. Megan Bain, she should be in line to win the women's world title next year and hold it for a while. She should have a lengthy title reign. She should be one that kind of carries that women's division. I think she could be a good option to beat Statlander at Revolution or Double or Nothing. And like I said, carry that title for a while. And then the third person I have, I'm not sure if anybody even knows who this is, but I believe it's Miyu Yamashita. She's in Japan currently, 4-time Princess of Princess champion. She could join WWE next year, make an impact immediately. She'll put on great matches with just about any woman on the roster, especially the ones that are used to that style, like Io, Julia even. So Asuka, I think she could just elevate the women's division pretty good and put on good matches. She could win titles, NXT, main roster, doesn't matter. So, those are my three.
All right, so on towards the last category of the night. First off, that's a great comment. That's great. Yeah. Anyway, on to the last category, the three men you are looking forward to break out in 2026.
So the return of MJF will be fun because, and it might be tomorrow night, by the way, because he has to keep his dynamite diamond ring streak alive. So he might return tomorrow night. And but MJF in 2026, he still has the contract, I believe, for a AEW championship match that he has to announce at least 7 days in advance. That's the stipulation. So I think the MJF is prone to have a big year next year. Additionally, I think Nick Wayne, once he gets back from his broken foot, will be prone to make a really big run as a single star, finally out of the shadow of Christian Cage. And then Leon Slater. I love Leon Slater. I've loved him when he wrestled in Rev Pro. Spoiler alert, he has a big match coming up in a couple weeks. I don't want to spoil what match it is for, but he has a big match coming up to start 2026. So Leon Slater is going to have a really good year in 2026.
By the way, Cody, before you actually start, I just wanted to read what I just read here. WrestleVotes confirms that the NXT North American Women's Champion title change was in fact a botch, and they are scrambling behind the scenes on how to fix it before the show goes off air. I mean, it's already off air, but that was posted. I just wanted to let y'all know that my favorite show is fucking up right now. Anyway,
Hate to see
it. Back to your answer.
Just kidding. It happens. It's pro wrestling. It's live TV. It happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens, though, to see how they kind of recoup from that. Just own up to the fuck up and just
honestly, just go with it.
Yeah,
just go with it.
Just that's one. Sorry, real quick pivot. That's one thing I do like about WWE, not WWE. Sorry, AEW is that when mess ups happen, slip ups, refs messes up, they don't shy away from it. They just kind of go with it and just kind of continue on. Just go with it. If it's an F up.
I mean, honestly, the quick fix is just, hey, we'll do the rematch at New Year's Evil.
Yeah, simple as that. Worst things could happen. Honorable mention, Braun Breaker. I mean, he's destined for an impactful 2026, so we'll see what happens with that. But for my 3 stars, look out for Jacob Fatu. Obviously, natural charisma, very good in the ring. Crowd loves him. He should win some sort of gold in 2026, whether it's a U.S. Intercontinental, or whatever else belt is in the singles division, or if he gets elevated to the world title scene. I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see. Will Ospreay, coming back from severe neck surgery next year, I still pencil him in as winning the world title next year at Wembley Stadium at All In. So we'll see how that works out. He could make a run for the Owen Cup tournament and win it. So we'll see how that works out. And then Mike Santana. I think he can make the jump from TNA to WWE or NXT. He becomes a major player in either one of those shows, main roster or NXT. And I can see him winning some sort of singles gold. I can see him winning NXT championship next year. I think he would fit perfectly in either one of the main roster shows or NXT. And put on some really good matches and just solidify himself as a pretty good top player like he did in TNA. And, just really make a bigger name for himself and possibly win some gold next year.
All right. So my first name is going to be Javon Evans. I think he will end up being NXT champion at some point. I don't like that he already cashed in the title match that he won for being the lone survivor at Deadline and lost. I kind of thought that was stupid, but either way, I think Javon Evans will break out in 2026. He'll win NXT champion, probably at Stand and Deliver. If not, they want to call him to the main roster. I mean, obviously, he just proved that he's worth the main roster spot. Secondly, I think Gunther is going to have a monster year. It's really hard putting Gunther on this list because if you look at the last like 3 years Gunther's been in WWE, he held the IC title for 666 days. He's a 2-time world champion. He just retired Goldberg, just retired Cena. What more can you do? I think there's a lot more for Gunther in the character development aspect. I think this heel run, this is the type of heel run that I think will finally be able to get the casual fans who aren't behind him, behind him. He, to me, just represents the old school 70s, 80s, think about the territory days, the Memphis scene, the Crockett scene, the Dirty South scene down here in the South of just the villain type heel that we sort of perfected before the Northerners named Vince McMahon came and destroyed all of it. But and so I think that what that also does is create an opportunity for someone to come in and be the ultimate company babyface. I think they're setting it up to be Cody, unfortunately. But I think Gunther is going to have a monster 2026. And then finally, I think someone that most people aren't thinking about making a jump to the main roster, I think, is Ricky Saints. I think he's going to break out. He's not in the world title picture. That's stacked. That's going to be your Braun Breakers, your Obafimis, your Roman, Cody, Gunther, stuff like that. But bringing him up to be in your mid-card scene, build him. He just turned heel, so we'll see where that goes. Conveniently, around the same time Cody might be turning. Conveniently. But anyway, I still think he's one of the masked men that Seth Rollins recruited, but that's a theory. But I say Ricky Saints because there's this event that WWE runs every year. They moved it back to September this year. It's called Money in the Bank, and it's in a city known as New Orleans, and that's where Ricky Saints is from. Early prediction: Ricky Saints is winning Money in the Bank. And so I think those are going to be the three that I think will break out and have great years this year. And there's our show. I will give my guests an opportunity to promote whatever they want to promote. No sponsors because they don't sponsor this show, James. But let us know where we can, find your opinions. Tell us about your show. Quick pitch. Maybe want Cody to do the quick pitch because James will take an hour. But anyway, let us know where we can find y'all.
Yes, absolutely. January 1st on the Junkyard Media Group YouTube channel, the Beyond the Junkyard podcast, hosted by me, Junkyard James, and Cody Marinera, makes our return, our 2026 debut after a holiday break. We will be back and discussing just some of the great wrestling stuff. And with a little twist, we like to keep it fun over there and keep it a little saucy. Yeah, so you can follow the Junkyard Media Group on social media. On X, it's IBJMG. That's IBEJMG. And then we have an Instagram that I created. If you would please follow that and follow along. I put a lot of content on there. It's We Are Junkyard Media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on X and Facebook and on Instagram.
Any final word before we leave?
We would love it if you guys liked and subscribed and help buy stuff that we are sponsored by. I have a baby in June, and I need money. So, yeah, anything would help. Everything would help. Please and thank you for that. If I'm gonna buy some sauce, especially for my kid, and other things, I need money. So, please pitch in. Thanks. Stay saucy, y'all.
So that's our show. Thanks our guest for joining. We'll give them a little round of applause for all of that. Thank you guys for joining the show. One more episode this year for the Slapping Me community show. That will be Friday special edition. We'll go I'll just give my final little rundown of the show and maybe what I'm looking forward to in 2026. Maybe some early Mania predictions. So I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest with you. So maybe YouTube TV will finally get a deal with the ESPN shit that I can watch PLEs again. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and until Friday, have a great rest of your week.
So hit that subscribe, come along for the ride, whether it's NXT or NFL time. Going in the ropes and forth and deep, Slapping Me community every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, every Tuesday, every Tuesday.